Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
The world held its collective breath as a TV reality star became the 45th president of the United States.
People of the world, thank you.
The jovial scene for Donald Trump 4 years ago today is in stark contrast to the way he has left the Capitol at the end of his tumultuous term. While the Trump presidency seemed to amplify the division among the American people, it had a ripple effect north of the border and around the globe.
The world had never seen a leader like Trump.
He soon became the poster boy for the oddest dominating handshakes, so Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's first meeting was widely analyzed.
He walked up to Donald Trump and he grabbed his elbow first, repositioned his hand so they could grab a handshake as equals. He did not want to be seen as subservient to the President of the United States.
Despite the viral pictures of Ivanka seen as swooning over Trudeau, his visit wasn't all that memorable for others on Trump's team.
The president had an incredibly productive set of meetings and discussions with Prime Minister Trudeau of Canada.
Within weeks in power, it was clear Trump was ready to make significant changes to America's relationship with its closest ally.
Because NAFTA has been a horrible deal for the United States.
Renegotiating NAFTA took the better part of 18 months.
And it culminated with a trade war as Trump introduced tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum, citing national security risks.
The idea that we are somehow a national security threat to the United States is quite frankly insulting and unacceptable.
The power that he was using was really designed for a wartime measure.
In Trump's irrepressible manner, he turned to Twitter, calling Trudeau dishonest and weak.
Canadians were polite, we're reasonable, but we also will not be pushed around.
And I see Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, saying Canada will not be bullied by the United States. I say, what are we doing here?
Luckily, diplomatic relations returned and a new NAFTA deal was in sight, ready to be ratified. We fast forward to 2019. A calm NATO summit in England turned into a drama-filled scene as Trudeau was caught gossiping about Trump to other world leaders.
Well, he's two-faced.
He was just such an odd leader, and the rest of the world's leaders couldn't figure him out, and so they would get together and they would compare their notes.
But no one could have predicted the events of 2020. The pandemic hit, prompting border closures between the two nations. As the coronavirus disproportionately impacted racialized communities, millions took to the streets on both sides of the border to protest the death of George Floyd. When the Prime Minister was asked what he thought of Trump's photo op, tear-gassing protesters to hold a Bible outside a church, he was at a loss for words, pausing for 21 seconds.
We all watch in horror and consternation what's going on in the United States.
By the time rioters stormed the Capitol 2 weeks ago, Trudeau had dropped all diplomatic pretense.
What we witnessed was an assault on democracy by violent rioters, incited by the current president.
But the votes by the majority of the American people led to this moment. The only president to be impeached twice said his goodbyes and boarded Air Force One, requesting this song on the loudspeakers. And Canada prepares for a new way ahead. Nicole Martin, CHCH News.